And we're live. Good morning. Good morning. And we are live at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday morning. I was about to say afternoon, but we're about to go into the afternoon. So happy Wednesday, everyone. It is a mid morning live with Bronx Girl. Welcome to Insight and Perspective. I am streaming from StreamYard, and I don't know, StreamYard is playing with me again. Yesterday, I was able to see the viewers, well, how many people are in here and the comments, but as of now, I'm not able to see it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, you know, go along and with the podcast and just, give my monologue. I just gotta see. I should have put this on Do Not Disturb because I just got a text. Oh man, shit. This is what I don't like. It's like I get interruptions and I don't want to be interrupted during my podcast. So I hope everyone is having a great start to their morning or had a great start to their morning. It is morning. So take me along with you for the day on the go, just for easy listening experience. I'm the type of podcast that you take along on the go or, cooking and cleaning, whatever you do at your leisure. I'm just happy to be a part of it. But yeah, so I have a TikTok story. Today I didn't really get dressed up. I just threw on a pair of sweatpants and my bare paws. They're so comfortable. I feel like with the snow, how dirty it is and how messy it is outside. I don't want to get any of my other shoes messed up. So yeah, the bare paws come in handy. I just threw those on today with some beige sweatpants and a brown, what is it called? I call it like a fuzzy fur or a bear coat, faux fur, but it was one of those long. It was nice. I looked cute, but not like trying to go all out. But yeah, it wasn't really like, oh, I got a dressed up day. I want to come and brag about it. It was just regular. And I'm here now. Zachary's at school, of course. You already know. And I was looking, but before I get into the topic of why do um what is it? Why are black women labeled strong and independent? And I'll dive deep into that. I just because I've seen it so much. It's like why does it need an explanation, right? You know what I mean? But before I get into that, TikTok, I deleted my account. I had to. TikTok is really crazy. And it's for the people that can survive TikTok. I would not be able to survive TikTok at all. TikTok, like I was happy to get like do a lot of research on TikTok, like come bring it back to YouTube to let the people know what's going on. That's how I knew about a lot of things about on TikTok. Oh my goodness, I deleted the account because it was just too crazy. The men over there are very disrespectful, and the men are just out of order, and that's not somewhere where I want to do content on a platform like that. But you do have its little advantages. I was getting followers, but I didn't even get close to 100 followers, and I'm not going that hard. Not for TikTok. Not sorry, but yeah, I'm glad I'm back at YouTube on YouTube, and that's where everybody's about to flock back to YouTube because they deleted their TikTok account and they're gonna start podcasting for YouTube. That's why I feel like it's important for me to stress to the people that want to at least have a podcast or make a podcast or um, bring in extra income. Like this is where YouTube is made for. This is what YouTube is made for podcasters. And it seemed like this is just obvious. And I don't like that word obvious, but it just seems like it's just like, yeah, these are the facts. YouTube are for podcasters. And that's why I want to at least build and keep growing my YouTube channel. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's hard and I'm inconsistent, but that was just a little hint or information that I wanted to share with anyone that can use it if they wanted to start a podcast. If you are. serious about one, this is the place to be, is YouTube. Leave TikTok alone. TikTok, yeah, it's crazy. There's a lot of people over there that is like, I don't know. I'm just glad I deleted my account permanently. So to move forward on with the topic, and the topic is why are Black women labeled strong and independent? And I always, not always had a problem with this topic, but the fact that only Black women are labeled and picked out of all other races to be labeled like something so distinct as strong and independent, right? Because at one point in time, Black people wasn't even looked at as human beings. We wasn't considered a human being. So when, and I feel like I'm just going to say right here, right now, I don't think that, and I won't, I'll insult you before I give you an explanation as to why Black women are so strong and independent, right? We have to know how to shut these insults down. I think it's an insult. Black women are human beings. Black women are people. Black women are uh, desired and loved and beautiful, right? So the fact that people who show their disdain towards Black people, and to be, Black men too, mostly they'll bring that shit up. Um, Black women are so strong and independent. Like, it's just like, why does that need an explanation, right? Why do that need to be confirmed with someone that's another human? Why do I need to say, oh, as a Black woman, I'm strong and I'm independent? Because no, you're not going to get that from me. What I've learned, and through just learning and observation and knowledge, and through education also, is that, that's like dehumanizing to a Black woman, to a woman in general, to be labeled strong and independent, because there are opposing sides. Like, where do people ask the opposite of strong independent women, like, why are you so weak and why are you so dependent? I never heard that question asked to any woman. Why are you so weak and why are you so dependent? I never heard that question posed or asked to anyone, any other woman. But when it comes to us beautiful Black women, right, you could interpret how you see a Black woman or not. Your perception is not my reality, right? Because I don't just go around like looking at Black women that can express herself freely and can express herself in a way where she get her point across, articulate very well. I don't come out, and the first thing that come to mind don't come to my mind is, oh, she's a strong Black independent woman, which, like, I will embrace it when I use it in my terms. Like, no, I'm not weak, I'm not depending on you. I have a mind of my own, I can make my own decisions and my own choices. Like, I don't feel like any Black woman have to explain why she's strong and independent, right? Because, like, what do you mean, why am I strong and independent? What is your point? What exactly, what do you mean, right? So um today I feel like we should like learn how to shut people down, because it's not everyone, every man, every person that label Black women strong and independent has um you know a negative view towards it. But I feel like it's mostly an insult towards, directed mainly to Black women, on how Black women are supposed to carry themselves for other human beings, right? Malcolm X said it the best, that, we are the only race of women that are unprotected, which as you get older and you start to see and you start to realize that he was telling the truth, right? It is a fact. It's sad that we as Black women have to be scrutinized under um, many different societies, right? Can you imagine? And if a Black women had our own society, just our own society alone, based on our, Of course we have movements and we have like, communities and everything, but I'm just saying our own society where we make the rules, or we get to like snap back, or we get to walk down the block when we don't have to smile. We get to like yell across the street to our friends that we see, and wave hello without being called ghetto, or what is it called, or ratchet, or all this bullshit that ties into black women not being what society sees them to be. Like, what if black women really had their own society? Would we be that strong enough to keep people out? Right. So no, where we wouldn't, because we would not even begin to be allowed to build our own society without going through um, the going through different avenues and paths just to get there, and everyone else have the opportunity to build a different path and a different society for themselves. But black women, no, we just like are put out and hung out to dry, right? But I am, as I get older, I'm 45 and I'm proud to say it. As I get older, I have learned that this question and this insult and this depiction of black women being strong and independent, is that's an insult, and the intention behind it is mostly come from a man, whether it's a black man or a white man or whatever, whether it's another race, like it's just the intentions behind it. But when you, as a black woman, like criticize or question or challenge that point of view, you're seen as being difficult. Right. So when men usually be like, oh, you're a strong black woman, I'm like, listen, now I'm going to say F you. Like if someone say that to me, or if it's another, it depends on the person. Oh, you're a strong black woman. Oh, I don't need your pity. I didn't ask for your sympathy. You know what I mean? Like, you a strong black woman. What do you mean? I'm not stronger than an animal. No human being is stronger than an animal. I'm not. What do you mean by strong? Define and explain yourself. Why is it that women can't be strong? Women can't stand up for themselves. Women can't think for themselves. Like women can't make their own decisions and choices. Why does that trigger men, especially like men within our own community, right? This is where we challenge men on their point of view and their worldview, right? Because not only are black women like um, scrutinized for the littlest offenses. We can't be single mothers. We can't be strong. We can't be independent. We can't be ugly. We can't be fat. We can't be skinny. We can't be nothing. Anything that a black woman want to do and do it better than someone, then that is called into question. Which of course, everyone can have an opinion. It's just like it caught my mind and attention when I see other podcasts trying to explain, especially black women, trying to explain themselves as to why they are strong and independent women. I'm not going to ever answer this question for no one. Like uh I guess my decent answer would be, for independent, why are you independent? Because I don't want to get married. Right? Why are you strong? Because I'm not weak. Why do you want me to be weak? Why do you like if someone to say, "Oh, you're an independent woman"? No, I don't want to get married. No, thank you. I don't want to marry you. That's what I'm going to start saying to the men. Right? I feel like you don't have to go back and forth with men. You don't have to really fight them. You just have to know how to shut them down in that moment, right? Because mostly when men come at women, they are probably being sarcastic, and their intent is, I'm not saying always is on the negative side, or they have bad intent, but what I'm saying is like they like arguments. Men like to argue. Men like to make assumptions, right? Men like to tear you down or humble you, like that. I feel like with men doing that, saying, oh, she's a strong black independent woman, I feel like he's trying to humble a black woman, right? And this is not necessarily um geared towards black men, but this is a problem within the black community. Black women getting questioned or ridiculed or scrutinized or even psychoanalyzed as to why, right? Yeah, that's what we're going to go with. black women being psychoanalyzed as to why they are strong and independent. But you don't want to like just keep that argument going. But it depends on the man and it depends on the person, right? Because like, okay, so if we as black women are the strongest and the most independent, then why are we still at the bottom considered? But no, we're not, we're thriving. And that's why we're strong and independent, right? Think of it like, put your minds together. Why? Because black women were thought of to be the less successful, like of course the men too, but when it comes to black women, we have so many stigmas that's put on us. So when a black woman such as myself and every other black woman that want to strive and excel and evolve, right? This is why, because I want to strive, excel, and evolve. I'm not like pushing anybody out my way, but stay out of my way if you're not on in my way for the right reasons, right? Then that's when I have to be strong and independent, I guess. I guess I will have to take a stance, right? Or when that strong and independent insult come up, like, why would you want me to be so weak and dependent on another human being? We as humans are social creatures. How can I be that independent and how can I be that strong when I was made to socialize with other people, with other humans? No. I could see in context where, there are women, black women, that don't want anyone to do anything for them, but then when they try to let their guard down, and I never let my guard down, and I still lead with kindness and thoughtfulness and just overall uh integrity. Not to pat myself on the back because I am in more ways morally corrupt, but that would never like stop me from being a great human. Like we all have prejudice in us. We all are hypocrites in some way. We all are like phony and fake in some way, but that's not like our overall personality, right? You still can have flaws in you and still be a human being. So what they're saying when I hear like a black woman is strong and independent, we are not perfect. Why do we have to be perfect? Why do we have to set the tone for the world? Right? But if you ask a black man, why is he strong and independent? He will come up with so many different dumbass reasons. Like, because I'm a man, I'm supposed to be strong. I'm supposed to protect and provide. So, a woman, a black woman, a single black mom, right? Like a single woman, in this case, a single black mom, isn't she supposed to protect and provide for her children if her offspring, parent, the parent of the offspring decided to leave and flock and go to another flock? What are we supposed to do? Like go deep down in the hole and not come up? I don't understand these questions. I just don't understand, and I want to clip this. I just don't understand, why do black women have to explain themselves about why they are strong and independent women? Clip that. You know what I mean? Like, what is the explanation? Why is there even an explanation? Why do I have to explain myself instead of like challenge your assumptions, right? It's not an argument, it's just challenging your assumptions for someone that like feel deep down in their heart that I'm a strong independent black woman. Mean by that, what does that even mean? That's an insult and that's a dismissive point of view for black women. You know what I mean? Oh, hey, yo, you popped up. Look, y'all just popped up. Hey, thank you. I hope your cooking, come out as great as you are in here. Thank you. So yeah, it's just I don't know. I don't like I may talk a lot of shit. I want everybody to know I love everyone, no one in particular, right? I love black men, I love black women, I love black women especially in particular. Like as we get older, you just realize that black women mean more to you than a black man will. I'm just talking about like friendship, relationships, right? We can rely on each other more. Here in the Bronx, like people talk so bad about the Bronx. They have so many misconceptions about the Bronx, but Bronx girls are really, really cool. And that's why I take great pride in calling myself a Bronx girl and share that with the world. Right now, I'm not saying all of the Bronx is like cool and kinship, but like where I live, in the area I live, we know each other. We say hi to each other, good morning, hug each other, compliment one another. You know how many people like come up to me and compliment me? You know how many people I've gone up to and compliment them in the Bronx, and we just start laughing and joking and talking and having a conversation. I've met strangers in Dunkin' Donuts that I hug, embrace, and these are black women. Right. So there's a beauty inside of black women that a lot of people seem to miss. Right. Of course, there are the black women that don't want to be associated with black women like me, like the friendly, flirty, the fun, the down to earth one, the loud one, the joking one, the silly one, the goofy one, right? A lot of black women are scared to take that step and risk of being seen as silly and goofy, serious, and that's why I guess a lot of people will label black women as strong and independent. Like I'm not trying to separate, but I'm just trying to like give an idea of black women that people misinterpret. Like I just don't like that term, like black women are strong and independent. That's like saying that we are not human, right? Because no human being is stronger. And I say this now, right? I'm here to help us black women to get people off of our case, but in a decent way, like see things differently, like challenge their assumptions. Like, no, I don't need your sympathy. I didn't ask for your pity. What do you mean I'm strong and independent? What is your, like, and then when you challenge someone like that, because I don't think I can solely depend on you to do what I need to be done, right? So you mean to tell me I need to navigate through the world with a closed mind and not even be able to think for myself? Or why can't you just say like, oh, you are very, oh yeah, one guy, I got to go back to the men. Okay. So I knew him for, listen, like most of the time I share stories about men. I know them for a long time. Either, I had a relationship with them or not even a relationship. Because if you know me, then no. You know that I only been in one real relationship, and that's with Zachary's father. I mean, I had other play, whatever, but I knew guys that, that we were friends and we never had a relationship, but we probably had some type of physical connection or whatever. Um, and this guy I knew ever since I was in my 20s. And now I'm like, did I return? Yeah, guess I was in my 40s because we had, I don't know, we see each other on and off, but we know each other. We've known each other ever since I was in my 20s. And he don't work that far from me. So I have ran into him because I didn't see him in a while. Like I always feel like a woman should look decent, right? Not to impress a guy, but like in case you run into a guy that you used to like or yeah used to like or whatever, it doesn't matter. But that depends on the woman. You always should look decent. Um, and I saw him. This is going to lead up to something. I saw him, we'll call him, friend. I saw my friend and I said, hey, how are you? How you doing? He's like, what's up? How you doing? And I'm like, and I just started smiling because I felt like he wanted me to like give into something I wasn't going to give into. Like start. This is what a weak woman would do. She run into the guy that she know, and she, politely say hello, hi, how are you? How you doing? And he gives her attitude like, what's up? How you doing? Okay. So the weak woman would, you know, question him like, what's wrong with you? But did I do something to you? What's going on? No, that's an argument starting. And I didn't do that. I just said, what's up? He said, why every time you see me, you so sharp? I said, oh my goodness. All I did was just say hello and hi and how are you? And smiled. Right. So now I'm thinking, like, what's his problem? I'm like, oh, because I look mad cute. Like a lot of men get jealous. If y'all think I'm lying, I'm telling you, you have to pay attention to men, right? I like to talk about men in a way where they have exhibited behaviors that a lot of people don't agree with, right? Which I don't agree with. I'm not like when I say I hate men, like I'm not saying I don't hate him. right? I hate them as a collective, like as like what they stand for in many cases. Like, no, I'm not going around picking out men to hate. Like a lot of women and men get that confused, and I'm going to keep saying it, but I'm going to keep it a little bit, clean for my audience when I say I hate men. You take what you want from that. um I hate his behavior. What he did was coming at me wrong, accusing me and insulting me, talking about, oh, why are you so sharp? Why are you being so sharp with me? And I just said, hello, how are you? What the did he want me to do? Right? Did he want me to question why he was giving me an attitude? I just continue on with the conversation. You know why? Because there's never like a time where I'm going to give that person what he wants, so I can make an ass out of myself. So, as a strong woman, I guess if I'm going to use it in a sentence, I just carried on with the conversation. He was just so being so nasty to me, and I was like, I was that's exactly what I was doing. I was like, I just didn't understand why he was being so nasty to me. And we've known each other. We had great connection. I just, because we seen each other off and on and a lot. And this is what I hate about women. Like, y'all, a woman like myself can tell you a story exactly how it is. And then y'all just start psychoanalyzing and shit, like trying to put more into the story and take away. I've told this story to other people. And I'm just glad I have my audience to share with. Like they're just listening, which is great. I have other people like trying to make an excuse as to why he was acting like that, or like trying to make sense of the conversation. And I just, we just talk, and women talk, girl talk, and they just trying to make like what is it called? Make sense out of it to their liking. Some people's like, oh, maybe he was just having a bad day. His bad day have nothing to do with me. Like, you know what I mean? Like I have not so good days and I still speak and say hello. But my point is him saying, oh, why you so sharp when you talk to me? All I said was hello and how are you? So this is what I be talking about with men. You're a very confused bunch of men. You know what I mean? Like you really don't know what you want. You really can't interpret things accurately, or your perception of is not reality. But I guess a weaker woman in that situation, or me, probably when I was younger, probably would have like cared about why he was so upset. I would have really cared, like, why are you so upset? What's going on? What did I do? I'm not fucking begging you, sitting here begging you and trying to get clarity on why you are upset. No, women, I guess women, black women are much stronger and much more independent when it comes to like just ignoring men, right? Or not babying them or nurturing with them at the moment and at the time. I guess we can use being strong and independent in like good faith. But yeah, he did when he did that, I was like, yo, oh my goodness. And I've seen him since, and we always had like a back and forth and everything. But I really liked and cared for him, right? I always felt nice when I spent time with him. But one thing with me, as I learned as you get older as a woman, especially as a black woman dating black men, because those are my preference, black men. That's why I'm so strong independent, because I know that black men don't deliver like they're supposed to. So what they do is they blame us women, black women, for taking the slack and taking the fall for their mishaps. You know what I mean? Like they are not the type of men that will be romantic, or they are not the type of men that will be lovey-dovey. They have to prove their masculinity. And this is what gets me upset about you black men in particular, the ones that I'm talking about, the ones that have this mindset, this framework, this mentality. Clip that. um, the black men that have this mentality of black women being strong and independent, right? You use that as an insult towards black women. But the things that black women are supposed to, because we leave it up to any other race, black women are not supposed to be loved or desired, right? We're supposed to be at the bottom and stay at the bottom. But as black women, as we get older and evolve more, we become more stronger and more independent, and we are like stepping aside away and not dealing with or tolerating or even entertaining the thought of being treated, excuse me, mistreated by a man. And I'm only talking to the black community. If you had a black man, because I have dated plenty of black men. When I say dated, I mean no commitment, right? To know, like, that's how a woman, I guess, becomes a slut without having to give it up. Like, I don't like you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be under your dictation. I don't want, that's why black women are strong and independent, because we don't want to have to depend on you being something that we don't want. You know what I mean? Like, we don't want to have to uh, endure suffering. We don't want to have to be chastised or criticized or insulted or demeaned or degraded. No, we don't want that. I guess that's why we are being, that's why we are strong and independent, right? We don't want to have to fight with you. We don't want to have to argue with you, right? But that still doesn't explain. That's, well, I'll say it like this, plain and simple. We don't have to give you an explanation on why we're strong and independent. Why do you think that? They can't even give you a question, an answer. Why do you think I'm strong and independent? Like, why are you asking me why I'm strong and independent? And why I can't ask you, why do you think I'm strong and independent? So black women have to really step up their game and stop feeding into this freaking insult and this criticism and this ridicule and this scornful, and it could hurt a lot of women in many ways. Like, I have learned how to process that. Like, I didn't know what it meant, like, oh, she's a strong black woman, but independent woman or whatever. And at a time, black women wasn't, or black men wasn't considered human, right? We are human too. I'm not explaining that to anyone. So, but to the women that hear this, and and it probably bother you in some way when you are labeled as being strong and independent, just think in the back of your mind, like, you don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't have to define who you are as a black woman to another person that have the wrong idea and perception of you, right? Because why is it that it's a problem for, like, yeah, what is the problem? You know what I mean? Like, what is the problem with black women being strong and independent? Clip that. There is no excuse, right? I mean, well, there's no explanation needed. There is no explanation needed for why black women are strong and independent. Clip that. It shouldn't be an explanation. It shouldn't even be a conversation. It's like black women stand out. Like, they put these like titles on us, like, oh yeah, she's a strong black woman. Or do you not think I'm human? Right? Did I ask you for your pity? I don't need your pity. I don't need your sympathy. Right? I don't. The only thing you are doing is judging me and dismissing me as a person. That's all you're doing when you talk about, And I'm not gonna lie, I've been watching Tubi movies. And then, like, the low budget movies, let me just say that the low budget black movies, I watch them. Like, I have watched, like, Chris Stokes. Chris Stokes makes decent Tubi movies. Clip that. He does. Um, it's not like on a low budget side. So I've seen Tubi movies, black cinema, from the low budget side to the um to the well made quality of Tubi. But the low budget quality of Tubi, the black cinema, that's really where you go and you just see how men think and how men really definitely uh s- let you know how they think, right? So it was a movie, and this is why a lot of people probably would say, "Oh no, Bronx girl, you just being dramatic, and you don't like black men." No, that's not it. You hate men. No, that's not it. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying. I'll make it clear as day, right? You go on Tubi, black cinema, low budget, and then you watch it, and everything that I'm speaking of, they like have this casted in the movies. This is a plot, this is a scene in the movies, but this is happening in reality. So one movie I watched on Tubi, it was I guess she was considered, they was calling her boss chick or whatever. She was sitting down as a black girl. Like, all of the black women of Tubi are really great actors. I love the women, right? Even if they play in a shitty part, I love their parts. I do. The black men of Tubi, the actors, I just can't see past them being like filling out their fantasy in a movie. I feel like they are like that in real life. Okay, so it was a scene, a movie. Uh, the boss chick, which that's what she was labeled. I'm not trying to be funny. She was sitting there telling her husband about her day. She was telling her husband about her client. And then first thing he said to her, with your aggressive ass, like, and this is how black men think about black women, calling them aggressive, right? This is how you should know that you can't trust them or feel comfortable with them, or even open up to them, or want to be weak or dependent on them, because this is a type of man that will crush your soul. She thought it was funny, but I knew where it was coming from, right? Because usually when black men try to humble black women, they'll say shit like that. Oh, you so aggressive. And I'll be like, oh, really? I'm like, I'm not attracted to you. But that's her husband. She can't say that. She already married him. That would be the answer I would have, right? That's what he said to her while she was sitting there explaining her day, telling her day about her client, that she had a rough day, and how she responded, how she, handled the situation. And all he had to say was, with your aggressive ass. And I'm like, ill. So in another scene, the same couple, she was talking, um, they were talking about going out, and they were supposed to go out to a event. He couldn't go, and she just stood there and told him how she felt. His response was, you a strong black independent woman? Like, these are fucking insults. You know what I mean? This is just insults that come across as insults. It sound like insults. It sound like a black man trying to humble a black woman. But she was laughing. Like, she thought this is not a conversation that I would engage with a man. You know what I mean? This is not a conversation that I would take and like, oh, lightly with a man. I had another guy, he had the same attitude of these men, of Tubi. I was like, because I didn't, well, when I was talking to him, I wasn't really watching Tubi at the time. Now it dawns on me, like, these men that watch Tubi have the same script, have the same ideas, have the same mentality. So we on the phone talking, we just talking and shit. And I don't know how it started, but it started off as me just because he's the type of guy that like assumes shit, and I hate when men assume shit. Like, that's a problem to me. You assuming things about me instead of asking, right? Assuming the wrong shit at that. Um he said to me, what he said, oh, you aggressive and all this. I was like, fuck you. That's So I said his name. So he was like, "You so aggressive." I was like, I was like, "F you, boy." You know what? I didn't. I'm not going to say his name, but that was my response. I was like, "F you, boy." He was still on the phone. Every time he said something, he's like, I don't curse." I was like, "I don't give a F, boy." What are you talking about, boy? You know what I mean? Like, you want to start this conversation. Like, you the one who's being aggressive. You the one who's being like, starting trouble. You the one who's assuming shit about me. Like, every word that he said that I felt like he was trying to like humble me with or insult me with, I was like, F you. Who gives a F? Like, but he stayed on the phone because I had to humble his ass. Like, what are you talking about? Who cares what you think? You sound stupid. Shit like that. These are the type of men that I don't want to be with. These are the type of men that I would never be with. The ones that start off so strong. Like, there are men that start off really strong and intense. I had one guy, like, he was really creepy, like, really creepy, right? I'm talking to him on the phone. I didn't want to, like, be judgmental of him the day that I met him, because he was very creepy the day I met him. And when y'all may say, well, how was he creepy and you still gave him your number? I was like, damn, maybe I'm being too judgmental, because sometimes, like, I'm really have a good judge of character, and then sometimes I'm wrong. But then I got to know him. Like, I gave him my number. He started complimenting me and saying that he's a feet person. And I'm like, ugh, that he like women with pretty feet. Why would you talk to me in the wintertime? You know what I mean? Like, why you don't holler at women in the summertime if you like pretty feet? So you have options. Your choices would be broadened, and you can narrow them down. and decide if you want that woman or not because she wears sandals. Why harass a woman in the wintertime? That's stupid. Um, so we was on the phone talking and everything. He told me that he got 5 dogs. I was like, ew. I know you're not